Robert Drury back again, and in this episode, I am going to go over two games that I played in the Pink Floyd Open yesterday, and this is rounds 3 and round 4. And I started off the first two rounds, I was 1 win, 1 loss. So after losing to a 2100 in the second round, I get paired down. My opponent is 1449. He is a veteran player that's been around a while. And this game was, it was a little touch and go at the beginning. I found myself tired at this point in the tournament, as I hadn't got a good night's sleep the night before, and I think it was starting to catch up with me. All right, but anyway, I start off b3, and he plays e6. I play bishop to b2, and he plays the f5 move. And to be quite honest, I hate this move when I'm playing the Hippo, but it's just something you have to get used to and have to understand how to handle it. And first, I want to clarify. Technically, I'm not in a Hippo yet. I'm intending to play a Hippo. And we play G3 because I just don't want to push forward. However, I do think that looking back, maybe E3 would have been a better way to start off this. I'm not sure if it really matters, but I played G3. He brings this knight around, and now I play E3. And I just want to be prepared if he pushes to be able to take back with a pawn, and preferably the E pawn and not the G pawn. All right, so he plays D5, and he's got kind of an odd center at the moment. Engine here says you can go bishop G2. You can even play C4. I play bishop G2. He brings his knight around. I bring my knight. I'm working on a full Hippo. He brings his bishop down, and I play D3, and I am striving for a Hippo. He castles, and I castle, and now he's got really a weird he's got a weird pattern across the middle of the board. Now here, I can go ahead and play C4 and get the C4 push in. I'm going to have to find a pawn lever somewhere, and of course F5. I can't play that until I play H3. But anyway, I don't play C5 yet. I just continue with developing the Hippo. Now he plays A5. Now I've got to figure out what to do. In this, I played A3, thinking if he pushes, I could push forward. But here, C4 was just better. The A4 push can't happen yet because of the pawn takes, and it's backed up by the queen. All right, but anyway, he played. Hold on, let's go back. All right, so when he played A5, I played A3. And if he wants to push, I will just push forward. Now, the problem with this is sometimes you may get him pushing, you push forward, then they hit it again. And it just kind of, it gets a little messy. I mean, here white's still better, but it does get messy. I mean, as white, I can come in here. He's got to defend the pawn, comes up. And now I can just take B takes C5 and take it on a little different terms. But still, it's the A3 and allowing the A4 push gets a little messy in those circumstances. All right, let's go back. All right, so after I played A3, he didn't push. He played his queen over. Now he's targeting the A3 square. I just continue. Well, now I play C4 and try to get a little space on the queen side. And he just moves his rook over. At this point, I'm better off if I just take. And he can take back either way, and I'm just slightly better. All right, but that's not what I play. I play knight to d4, and now that gives him an opportunity. And at this point, I realized that that's not the best move, and I went ahead and played my knight up, which also wasn't the best way to take care of it. I should have just played the queen up, and it's simple, and I'll show you. Once I played the knight up, I took back with the bishop, and now he can get these pawns rolling down the board with tempo. And that's exactly what he does. He pushes the pawn, drop back, and he pushes again. The second push took some tension off, but the first push, he was fine. He was had an advantage. Now he could just continue to develop and just hold the 3 pawns across the center, and he's got more space. But he pushed again. He pushed. And now the engine prefers bishop dropping back. I ended up taking, and I'm thinking, all right, he's going to take. Oh, he could take. If it was me, I would take this way. Oh, I've got to drop back, and then he could take here. I take, and we look at it. My pawns are a wreck. He's got the rook head barreling down this way, and when I was looking at this, I saw this, and I thought, well, I've made some huge mistakes in the open, and I thought, hold on, let's go back to what he actually did. All right, when I saw this, I thought, he's going to play a pawn there. He's going to have this, and he's just going to have a lot of pressure on me. But surprisingly, he took the knight. He took with the knight, total blunder. And now, his problem is his d5 pawn is weak. So I take, he takes back, give him a check. And I saw that if he brought his bishop over, I could take the pawn. And that's what happened. And now, he plays the b6 move. And I just brought my queen back down here. That way I can keep an eye on the knight jumping into d2. Turns out I didn't have to worry about that. I mean, I could have played this way, and then if his knight jumps in, I go knight to d4, and I mean he can take this way. I take back, and I do not lose the exchange. Now, if he goes for the exchange, now he's going to lose the bishop because he cannot take back due to the fact that he would be pinned. So he's just got to give me the knight. Right now he can come here, and now I can take back. He takes, and I'm up a piece. So I didn't have to play it the way I played it. I could have actually just actually played queen to b6 or b5 and protected my pawn. All right, so I drop back, and he takes the pawn because I didn't protect it. Now I bring my knight around, and he brings his bishop up here, and that allows me to get in fork on his king or his queen and his rook. So he goes back. I take the rook. He takes my rook. And now queens take the pieces. All right, I take the knight off the board. And now I've got a check, and I can win the pawn. He comes back. He's targeting the f2 pawn. And I thought I could come up here and I could just pin him. I thought I can come and I can just pin him and be done with it. But I came this way because I'm thinking, all right, if you want to take, I take, takes. And now, if he takes, I take. If he comes this way,
It's just because
I still take.
the editing on this is kind of bad.
So he's got a. Oh,
Yeah.
let's go back. All right, where were we at? Okay, hold on a second. I have to get back to where I was at. All right, let's get back to where I was at. All right, I ended up playing my queen over here. And the whole thought process, if you want to take, I can just take, and I think that's the line that we covered a minute ago. All right, so he didn't do that. He played this h5 pawn, and I could still take. He takes. I give him a check. He goes king to h8, and I can give him another check if I chose. Or let's see where we at. I can just play bishop to d4 and target this pawn. He comes in here. I can actually give him another check. Which I don't think the checks are necessary. That's what the computer likes. Computer likes that. But, you know, I just take, and just start pushing this pawn up the board. But anyway, I didn't choose to take this pawn. So I just came up now, pinned him. And he moves back. Now I bring my rook over, defend the f pawn. And now he's going to attack because this pawn is pinned. All right, so I'm like, what do I do here? He can't do it yet because queen just takes. So I took the time to push my h pawn up and prevent him from pushing. Brings this rook down, and now he's threatened once again to take. Because now he could take back, and if I take, I mean, it's just, oh, let's see. He's threatening if he takes, I can't take. Take with the queen, he just takes the queen. All right, so what I do is I just play my queen up and put pressure. And he took. But now the check comes in and win the rook. And at this point, he ended up resigning. So I got through round 3. I got a win. And now we get to round 4. Now in round 4, I'm playing another player that's 1800. We are both with 2 wins and 1 loss. And it was a competitive tournament. There was a gentleman that was pushing master level, and I thought yesterday that he got master after this tournament. Actually, he ended up finishing up at 21.99, so he missed master by 1 point. But he was 3-0, and he was the leader. He was playing an expert that was 2.5 out of 3. So those two were playing for first place. If the expert won, he would get first place. The other expert wins, he's almost a master, and he gets first place. So the best we could do would be either a tie for second or second place. And my opponent in that round was Kali Warford. And he's a junior player, and he's been coming on pretty strong lately. He actually was having a pretty decent tournament, And once again, I drew white. So this is a tournament. I actually got to play white 3 out of 4 times, which is kind of odd because last year it was the other way around. Last year I played black. Anytime I had an odd number tournament, even some even numbers, I played black a lot more than I played white. But it seems to be evening out this year. All right, but anyway, start off B3. And I'm going to play my Nimzo Larson and try to get into the Hippo. And he plays just typical moves, but he plays an early C5 move. And I play the D pawn up. Plays his knight. My knight comes out. These are all Hippo moves, and he's just playing 2 pawns in the center. And at some point, I know he'll put a 3rd pawn there, which he does. All right, so this is kind of like a reverse English with, in the English, you have pawns at C4 and D4 usually. So this is kind of reverse English. So when I see this, I don't want to allow him to keep 3 pawns there. So what I'll do is I will prepare to push the E4 pawn, but I've got to do something, get another piece out there because he's also got a knight on it. For instance, if I did it right now, I mean, he could just take. And then if I take back, I mean, it's all right. But the problem is, I take here, and I take, and now he's got this. So what I wanted to do is,
the speed roll.
All right, before I push, I wanted to get another piece out there. And now I push. And now I'm like, all right, so if he takes, I can take this way, keep these pawns. I mean, I could take like this. He takes back. And I could take with the bishop. I mean, I suppose in the grand scheme of things, it's not a whole big, it's not a lot of difference.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so, but what he did when I pushed it, he just pushed, he locked it up. And I see this a lot, and the issue is this bishop becomes bad. But in the Hippo, this bishop can always be rerouted to C1 and come up this diagonal. All right, but anyway, I just continued with a Hippo-ish setup. And now I get the 2 pawns over here because eventually I'm wanting to push the F4 push, but if I push F4, I do not want that knight to be able to jump into G4 and then into E3. All right, but he plays on the queen side. He's trying to gain space. And here I just push back. We're not going to let him do it. And now he brings his rook over. Now this rook is, I don't know, it's if he opens it up, he wants it on that file. Castle, brings his queen down. All right, so now here comes a critical point in our game. He's hitting his pawn twice. So do I protect it? Also, he's got his rook and his queen on a square that if I can get a knight to B6, I can hit them both. And B6 isn't guarded. So B6 in essence is it's a loose square. You can't call it an outpost because he can just put a piece down, pull it back. But it's a loose square that allows an attack. All right, so I ignore it over here. And just play the knight up. Now, Engine still prefers black here. And my thought process was,
this shot's pretty crazy.
Hold on, I won't tell you my thought process. I'll tell you what I think he was thinking. I think he was thinking he could just take, and then I take here. He wouldn't be foolish enough to take and allow this. I think he wouldn't be foolish enough, and if he took this way, if he took the bishop, takes bishop first. Now I got a worse position. I don't know if it's technically losing, but it's a bad position. But what he didn't,
Yeah, this match just felt
what he didn't, I don't know if he didn't see it or he just didn't think it mattered. Uh, but but I played my knight here, hitting both. Also, I realized that he probably thought, well, if he takes this way, he could take back, and if I take here, I'm just lost because of this. And I think that that's what he was looking at. He was looking there's potential I made here. But what I did, let's go back. I forked his 2 pieces, and he brought his queen down. And once again, I got to be careful. I can't take and have him come in. I could play f3 and boot him out right away. But I went ahead and I took the rook. And here, it's, I mean, it's basically, I got the exchange and I had to give up a pawn. It's basically a rook for a knight and a pawn. And I got a slight advantage, but I still got to deal with the queen, the bishop, and the knight all being over here looking down at my king. So I push. I'm going to get rid of him. He drops back, and I thought to myself that if he comes up this way,
that's it. Wow.
I just take. If he comes this way, and then I could take. I could even bring a rook over and slide it this way. All right, so I push, and he just drops back. And now I want these bishops off the board, but I would prefer not to have to move my rook to f2 to do it. Engine says that's fine. Engine also says you can just take. Problem with that is, in order to dislodge this queen, I once again have to spin a tempo moving that rook over. All right, he drops back, and I bring my king up because I want him to initiate the trade. And he does. Then I take. All right, so now he brings his knight over, and I'm going to bring my rook to h1 and try to get a hold of the file and maybe get an attack going. All right, he brings his bishop down. The engine actually likes bishop to c1. If he goes g4, then I can come to knight to g1. Engine likes that. That's not. I didn't like it. I just didn't like letting this pawn push forward. So I brought my queen up. I'm like, all right, if he's going to push it forward, at least I'm going to win something. Let's say, for instance, he pushed it forward. I can, I got a choice. I can go rook at a to f1. I can push f4 and just leave it. I can play queen to g5. He goes over and rook at a to f1. I mean, I've got some different choices. I also was looking at as we're hitting these two. However, he just moved his king over, which kind of surprised me. I thought for sure he would either push. Actually, I thought for sure he'd push. All right, so I push now. He brings his rook over, and I bring my rook up, and he plays his knight. And at this point, I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I made a mistake. I thought, I made a mistake.
That's gonna be crazy.
He's going to come in here. The rook's going to be out here in no man's land. He's going to hit me with check, and it's not going to be pretty. Thought I made a mistake. And I had a lot more time on my clock at this point, so I did some calculation, and I thought, well, what if I just take? What if I just take? I saw that he could play his knight here with check, and he would be winning my queen, but then I also saw that when I took back with my knight, his queen would be under attack. Now, when I was looking at this, I was thinking, all right, what if I take and he comes this way for a check, and I'm thinking, oh my God. Then I thought, well, wait a second, that's just stupid. I can just take it. I can just take it, no problem. All right, but anyway, I took, and now he saw an opportunity, but it is a losing move. I take back, he takes. Now the queen drops, and now I've got an attack on the knight, and I got attack on the rook, and something's got to give. If he, I mean, he could do this. I could take. Pawn's going to end up dropping too.
The way he just
But he dropped back. He dropped back, and I just took. And at this point, he resigned. He's. I mean, he can get the a piece back, but he's down a whole rook. I would just take, and now he's got to drop this piece somewhere. Now the other rook can come into the game. Pawn can come here. I mean, he's just in a lot of trouble. All right, but anyway, he resigned, so that was that. I finished 3 wins, 1 loss. I came in the tournament 1873, picked up 13 points up to 1886, and overall it was a good tournament. This makes 3 tournaments in a row that I've either won or tied for second in the other 2. All right, but anyway, with that, I will see you on the next video.
My video doesn't have enough likes and views, then